Now, if you've been scouting for a diesel pick in the executive saloon class category, then you know Volkswagen's Jetta is the benchmark setter over there. But recently, Chevrolet has upgraded the Cruze with a more powerful engine, and Renault has also upgraded their Fluence with a better motor and, of course, better interiors, all in a bid to topple the Jetta. Can these two manage to do that? Let's find out. The style factor for all three remains unchanged. The Fluence looks European and unique. The Cruze looks brash and sporty. The Jetta is understated and neat. But right from the time you open the doors, you can feel the difference between the three. The Jetta's door opens and closes with a solid thud. The Fluence has a nice solid feel too, while the Cruze sounds positively tinny. On the inside too, the Cruze's build and quality doesn't feel that impressive. The plastics and fit and finish are disappointing. However, the design is sure to get you excited. The wraparound dash, the chunky steering wheel and instrument cluster look sporty and young. The Cruze also features an extensive equipment list. The base LT variant offers keyless go, 6-way adjustable driver's seat, steering wheel adjust for reach and rake, and climate control air conditioning. The higher end LTZ includes electric sunroof, foldable and heated outside mirrors, rear parking assist, rain sensing wipers, cruise control, anti-glare rear view mirrors, and music streaming via Bluetooth. On the safety front, the Cruze offers 2 airbags. Although the Cruze does miss out on AC vents for the rear seat. However, the rear bench offers the best under-thigh support and knee room is decent. Although the coupe-like roofline can be a bit of a bother. Meanwhile, in the back seat of the Fluence, there is a lot of knee room, and width is good too. But under-thigh support and headroom could be better. Like the exterior, the interiors are designed different from everything else in the market. The soft plastics on this new E4 variant gives it a more upmarket feel. The diesel variant of the Fluence now also features a healthy equipment list. It boasts of cruise control, rain sensing wipers, auto headlamps, rear parking sensors, electrically adjustable and foldable rear view mirrors. Interiors also get leather upholstery, rear sun blinds, USB and Bluetooth connectivity, dual zone climate control, and rear AC ducts. But when you step into the Jetta, you're treated to the kind of build, fit and finish that has given German engineering its formidable reputation. Build quality, fit and finish is truly top-notch here. But the Jetta's equipment list isn't the most expansive of this trio. It features rear AC vents, rain sensing wipers, auto headlamps. It also offers electrically adjustable and heated outside rearview mirrors. There's rake and reach adjustment for the steering wheel, and it is the only one here to offer parking sensors for the front and rear. It misses out though on Bluetooth and USB connectivity and cruise control. Even the Highline variant doesn't offer climate control air conditioning. But the Jetta makes a strong safety statement by offering 6 airbags on the Comfort Line variant and 8 on the Highline variant. And when it comes to passenger comfort, the Jetta's backseat isn't anything to complain about.
Now the Jetta is dishing out the best combination for passenger comfort. The seats are nice and supportive, under-thigh could be a bit better, but knee room is good. Width is nice, so 3 abreast is not a problem, and headroom is definitely the best of the lot here.
Then it was time to get a taste of the machines. After spending time behind the wheel of each, things cleared out a bit. The Jetta sports the familiar 2-litre diesel motor that develops 138 bhp of power. Its 32.4 kilograms of torque is developed at 1750 rpm. But the Cruze's upgraded 2-litre diesel motor trumps the Jetta comprehensively. Well, on paper at least. Changes to the valve train, injection and intake system result in the Cruze developing a whopping 164 bhp of power. It also boasts of a meaty 38.7 kg of torque, which is now channelized through a new 6-speed gearbox. Meanwhile, Renault's Fluence has the smallest engine and the lowest horsepower figures here. However, updates to the injection and variable geometry turbo release more usable power from this 1.5 litre motor. Peak torque of 24.5 kg is now offered earlier in the rev range by 1850 rpm. Power has also been bumped up to 108 bhp. So how did things pan out between these three? Well, the Cruze certainly made a great first impression.
The Cruze's motor feels very refined. It's the smoothest and the quietest of these three.
Refinement aside, performance was better as compared to the earlier Cruze.
The Cruze is a lot more responsive lower down in the rev range. It makes it a lot more drivable now than before.
But the drivability of the Fluence was better than the Cruze. The Fluence felt easier and more responsive to drive. It will make short work of slow-moving traffic. But the Jetta felt the peppiest of the lot.
The Jetta's engine has a lot of responsiveness even lower down in the rev range. You don't really have to wait for the 2000 rpm mark for it to kind of wake up and get going.
But when you put these three against the clock, it's the Jetta and the Fluence that show strong performances. The in-gear acceleration times show that in the run from 20 to 80 in third gear, the Jetta is quicker than the Fluence by over a second, while the Fluence is a second quicker than the Cruze. In the run from 40 to 100 in fourth gear, the Fluence, despite its small motor and seemingly sedate pace, puts on a strong showing. The Renault leads the VW by over a second, with the Chevy trailing further behind. But the Jetta does need some attention in stop-go traffic.
The clutch is well weighted, but the thing is you need to be careful while releasing it because it bites suddenly and you can end up stalling the engine.
The Fluence also suffers in such conditions because of its slightly heavy clutch, and its gear shifts could be slicker still. In comparison, the Chevy's clutch feels light and hassle-free. In terms of outright acceleration, the Cruze with its 164 bhp should be explosive. Instead, it is slower than the earlier Cruze. But when you put these three head-to-head, from standstill to 100 km an hour, the Cruze does lead the Jetta by a 1/7 of a second, while the Fluence trails by another 1.5 seconds. So, out on the highway with their big motors, the Cruze and Jetta feel completely relaxed, chewing up kilometers at triple-digit speeds. So the Jetta's engine feels like the best overall, but it lacks in one regard. It is the most audible of the lot here. Now, when you turn your attention to the driving experience, there's a lot expected from the brawny Cruze. But around bends, it turns out to be the least involving of this trio. The steering is soggy and the suspension also feels the same way at higher speeds. The Renault meanwhile has well-sorted mechanicals. Its suspension setup offers good high-speed stability and shows good body control as well.
This electric steering is also very impressive. It feels light and easy at lower speeds, but as the speeds increase, it feels heavier and more substantial. But still, it isn't a great tool around corners because it has a slight inconsistency in the way it behaves.
So, when it comes to driving thrills, it's the Jetta that dishes out the most entertaining combination.
Now the steering is definitely the most communicative of the lot here. It might not be as well weighted as the Fluence's, but it just gives you more feedback and feel, and that electronic differential lock just gives this so much grip around corners. Apart from that, the suspension just gives you a lot of poise as well.
The electronic brake intervention from the EDL keeps the Jetta composed around bends and it stays glued to its line. At higher speeds in a straight line, the Jetta remains unflappable as the suspension just flattens everything in its way. But in the daily grind, rather than handling, it is the ride quality that will matter more. The Cruze's suspension gives it a very soft, cushioned ride. But over broken sections at higher speeds, it doesn't feel all that composed. On the other hand, at low speeds, the Jetta feels a bit firm over sharp edges and potholes. But as the speeds rise, the Jetta feels more accommodating, isolating the passengers from the road underneath. But it is the Renault that amazes in the way it deals with our road conditions.
The Fluence's ride quality is really very impressive. The suspension manages to strike a very hard to achieve balance between firmness and softness, so going over potholes and rough sections, it doesn't feel firm, hard or harsh, and it doesn't feel wallowy and just too soft either. It just absorbs everything, feels very composed and just carries on.
In terms of fuel economy, the revised Cruze betters the older car with a city economy figure of 10.8 km per litre and 15.7 kpl out on the highway. The Jetta delivers a city economy of 11.7 and a highway economy of 16.7 km per litre. But the Fluence, with its city economy of 11.8 and highway economy of 16.8, just pips the Jetta to take the top spot.
Now, which one of these two has the best shot of pipping the Jetta to the top spot? Well, the engine update for the Cruze has made it more drivable, more efficient and a lot more refined. The recent backseat upgrades have made it more comfortable, but it's not the most spacious, it doesn't ride the best and it's not the most fun around bends. And of course, the build quality isn't all that great. The trump card for the Cruze has always been its value for money equation, but recently the price hike has taken away some of that sheen.
But it still remains the car to offer the most value here.
Now the Fluence, it just feels more drivable despite having a smaller engine. It feels better built, it feels more spacious and its ride is the best of the lot here.
And the E4 variant here is a bit more expensive than the Cruze LTZ, but it's well worth the extra cash.
So of the two, this has the better shot of dethroning the Jetta.
And the chink in the Jetta's armor is its price. Even its mid-range Comfortline variant is substantially more expensive than the other two here.
Now the Jetta, is it ready to give up that top spot? Well, not quite. If I take it from the inside, the backseat has the right combination for comfort, the ride supports it as well. It's not as flat as the Fluence at lower speeds, but at higher speeds, it just feels a lot more composed. Build quality is just so impressive, and that engine offers you great drivability and great punch. Might not be as quiet as the other two, but still, it's a nice motor. Overall, a really strong package that also manages to excite you. Now, its pricing for this Highline variant is a bit on the high side compared to the other two, but if you pick the Comfort line, which is spec to spec, closer to the two cars here against it, it is a good match and offers you great value. So the Jetta, even now, continues to be our top pick in this set.